Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome to the Three Bookshelves. Today I'm going to be giving you my very first book haul. Oh, and there they all go. Now, I will not be doing book hauls every month. In the past couple of years, I've really tried to tone down my book buying because I don't see the point in owning tons of books that I haven't read or that I've read once and probably am never going to read again. Plus, I just don't have that kind of disposable income anymore. So I try to keep my book buying to auto-read authors and books that I have read already and love and want to own, and the occasional book that I'm pretty sure is going to be a win for me. I think I'll wait until I have 10 new books to show you before I do my book hauls, so that might be once a quarter, it might be twice this year, who knows. But I had a bunch of gift cards for my birthday and Christmas, so I kind of already bought 10 books this year. Some of these books I've already talked about in other videos, some of them you probably already seen on my bookshelf, but I'm still gonna count them. So let's get this party started with a book I have been very eagerly awaiting. Wires and Nerve Volume 2 Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer. The Wires and Nerve graphic novel duology is sort of a sequel to the Lunar Chronicles. I think it takes place about a year or so after the end of the Lunar Chronicles, and mainly follows Eco on her own adventures, but we do get some great cameos from the rest of the Rampion crew. Volume 2 picks up where Volume 1 left off, with Eco hunting down Alpha Steel and all the wolf hybrid soldiers that are threatening the peace between Earth and Luna. This volume will also see Eco uncover the truth of her strange programming, and hopefully a little bit of romance with Liam Kinney. I am a huge fan of the Lunar Chronicles, and while the graphic novel format of these books is a definite departure from the main series, it's so great to see the Rampion crew in action again, and it's really great to see Eco finally get her own story. I cannot wait to get started with that book. Next up is The Archived by Victoria Schwab. In this young adult fantasy, the dead rest on shelves like books that can be read. These histories must never be disturbed, yet someone is altering them and erasing essential chapters. Mac is a keeper tasked with stopping the histories from waking up and escaping the archive, and she has to piece together what's left of them before the archive itself starts to crumble. I fell in love with Victoria Schwab last year when I read her Shades of Magic series for the first time, so now I'm kind of on a quest to devour her entire library. I've already read her other YA series, The Monsters of Verity, and I honestly was not a great big fan, so I hope The Archived will better live up to the already high standards I have for her. Next we have another YA book, Illuminae by Amie, Kaufman, and Kristoff. You guys probably know more about this book than I do, so I'm just gonna make this brief. A few hundred years in the future, Katie and Ezra are forced to evacuate their war-torn planet, but they find even greater obstacles in space, with enemy warships on their tail, a deadly plague breaking out on their fleet, and the fleet's AI turning against them. The whole story is told through a dossier of emails and IMs, and medical reports and military files, and interviews and other things like that. So it's very different from anything I've ever read, and it was that interesting format that sold me on this book. Everywhere you look on BookTube, people are talking about this book and this series, so I'm excited to finally be able to join that conversation. And another book that is all over BookTube lately, The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. Anna Fox is the titular woman in the window. She's a recluse who doesn't leave her home and who entertains herself by spying on her neighbors. One night, she witnesses something terrible happen to one of her new neighbors, but nobody believes her, and the more tightly the mystery is wound, the more Anna starts to doubt herself and what she's seen. I love a good psychological thriller, and even though The Woman in the Window sounded suspiciously like The Girl on the Train to me, it's been everywhere. Everyone is raving about this book, so I thought I should give it a try. Now let's go way back with a much older book, The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. This book is a collection of loosely connected short stories that chronicle the colonization of Mars by humans and all the conflict that occurs between the humans and the planet's native Martians. The stories were all written in the 1940s and 50s, but are set in a future that is now our past, so like any classic sci-fi, the lack of modern technology in a supposedly modern world is a little hard to swallow. I got this book on my husband's recommendation. He is a fan of Ray Bradbury, and he wanted me to try something else of his after I started and couldn't finish the Fahrenheit 451 a few years back. So this was the book that I chose. I started reading it a couple of weeks ago, but the further I get, the less motivated I am to pick it up again. So we'll see what happens. And next we have Snuff by Chuck Palahniuk. The cool British cover because it was half the price of the American cover on Book Depository. Snuff is about a retiring porn star who wants to go out with a bang by breaking the world record for serial fornication on film. The story is told from the perspective of 3 of the 600 men waiting for their turn on the merry-go-round as they swap their sexual histories and discover that they may have more in common than a walk-on role in the climax of a washed-up porn star's career. In classic Chuck Palahniuk style, stuff gets really weird really fast. I have read Snuff before a long time ago, but I never owned a copy, and I am trying to round out my collection of Chuck Palahniuk books because he is one of my all-time favorite authors. And next up is The Babysitters Club #1, Kristy's Great Idea by Anne M. Martin. Not gonna lie, I only really bought this book for my newbie tag video. I loved The Babysitters Club growing up. These books were everything to me. If you're not familiar with The Babysitters Club, it's a middle grade series about a group of girls who start a local babysitting service. And along with a whole bunch of babysitting hijinks, they face challenges with friendship and dating and parents divorcing and remarrying, and school and sibling rivalry and jealousy, and in one of my favorite installments, being stranded on a desert island. A must-read for every preteen girl, even if the series is a little bit dated now. And here's a few books for all the other parents out there. Everyone else, if this is boring for you, sorry. Go check Facebook or something. The 7th edition of the Read-Aloud Handbook by Jim Trelease. This book is all about the importance of reading aloud to children from infancy through adolescence, and different strategies that you can use to help establish literacy and a love of reading from a young age. I picked this one up after hearing Katie from Life Between Words say that every parent should read this book. Reading to your kids comes naturally when you are a book lover yourself. I've been doing it from day one with my son, but I never really thought about the research and statistics behind it and how it can impact and benefit so many other aspects of your child's life. This also includes a pretty substantial list of recommendations for books to read aloud. One of my greatest goals as a mother is for my son to love reading and love books as much as I did when I was a kid, and I think I'm succeeding pretty well so far, but I'm sure that the Read-Aloud Handbook is going to help me along with that. And last but not least, we have Llama, Red Pajama, and the Llama Holiday Set by Dewdney. Obviously these are for my son and not for me, but since I am occasionally going to be talking about the books that he likes to read, I figured I should include these in my hauls too. Llama Red Pajama is about a little llama who gets frustrated and frightened when his mom takes too long to respond to his cries after bedtime, which is something that I'm pretty sure every kid and every parent can relate to. And Llama's holiday library is actually 4 board books. Llama I Love You for Valentine's Day, Llama Easter Egg for Easter, Llama Trick or Treat for Halloween, and Llama Jingle Bells for Christmas. I don't know what it is with these Llama books, but they are a huge hit with my son and pretty much every other toddler we know. So we're trying to work on a complete collection of these for him. And that is it for my very first book haul. Quite the mixed bag, a little bit of everything in there. Have you guys read any of these books? Do you think the hype about The Woman in the Window and Illuminae is well deserved? Does dated sci-fi bother you like it bothers me, or do you enjoy classics like The Martian Chronicles? And do your kids go crazy for Llama? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to catch my next book haul, whenever that may be. Happy reading, guys. Bye.